Hey everyone, I want to show you all this SOFIRN HS43. It's a headlamp that I've been carrying in the pocket. You see that clip right there? It comes with it, so I figured why not? Let's try it out. Been carrying it around, trying it out, seeing how I like it. It's a pretty cool little headlamp. I can carry this thing in my pocket, use it all day, and then I've literally got this headlamp strap. It just clips right in, really nice. Not the crazy rubber band technology, you know, that is a pain to get the light on sometimes. This thing, I just snap the clip out of there, snap it in, and now I have a headlamp. I carry this down like in a cargo pocket, and this time of year it gets dark really fast. It's dark at like 5:30, and I have an instant headlamp. It's great. I like that I can carry this and use it all day and on into the night. If you need to charge it, you can. It's got the Type-C charging. I actually charged the battery up in my external charger like I like to do. It comes with this 21700, and I'm using another 21700 in here. I figured why not go ahead and let you all know that any flat top 21700 works. So you can swap your batteries around if you need to. You got flexibility. I like that. I like these dual emitters. You just noticed the magnet when I brought that battery over. Got a powerful magnet right here in the tail. That has been used a couple times. I haven't really used it much to clip it around, but it can hold horizontally. You can put it on pretty much any metal that I've tried so far, and it's held horizontally. Let's go into the super simple user interface. So you notice that you have different emitters. Those are your 3 white emitters, and then you have a single red right there. And let's go into it. There it is right there. It's just super simple, no series of button presses or anything to try to have to commit to memory. You have this nice dial here. You can dial in where you need to be. The only thing that I would or could, have suggested that they do differently is to just go ahead and incorporate a button here, so that way you can turn it off wherever you were, kind of like the SOFIRN HS41, where you can just press a button, dial in where you want to be. Whereas with this, when you dial, it immediately turns it on. So it's a little bit different in that regard. See how that turns around, and then you get your red, you turn it, and then get to your white. If there was a button right there, that would just be like an extra safety feature to make sure this isn't going to turn on in your pocket. You could go ahead and turn this out so that way it doesn't turn on. You could just go ahead and do the old school, wow, okay, never mind, maybe you can't. I just wanted to try that while I'm talking about it. You have to really unscrew it in order to get to the lock, to where it's locked out. Yeah, so let's see if we can turn it back in. I'm checking this out for the first time here. Alright, that's weird. Turned it back in and it stayed off. But if you had turned it, it would have turned back on. So yeah, I don't really like that. So just be careful carrying it in your pocket. I will say it did turn on one time in about a week. I've been carrying this for about a week now, and it did turn on one time in my pocket. So I'm being careful too, but if you wind up unscrewing it, you're gonna have to really take that tail off in order to lock it out. There is a little green indicator light that comes on to let you know how your battery's doing. See that right there? So you got your little green indicator, then it drops down to red to let you know to charge your battery up. The other thing that I would recommend that they had done is to provide like an additional option for red. This red, like when we get this out in the dark, you're gonna see that is really bright. If they had like 2 stages of red, like a lower red and then come up into this higher red that we have right now, that would have been ideal. It's a little bit too bright in my opinion for just, for the sake of wanting to have some low light, nothing real crazy bright. This red is almost like going against that. And then same goes for the white. You come up in this really high white. If they had something a little bit lower, that's going to be, my guess is 30 lumen. If they had something more like 10 lumen, maybe even 5 lumen. I know you don't want, sub lumen levels with a headlamp because it's not going to do you much good. I would accept it because I'm carrying this in the pocket. But if they had like 10 lumen, that would have been a little bit better for white. If they could have just thrown in one more level of white and one more level of red, so you would have a little bit lower level. Because when you bring this thing up and you turn it on, if you're working on something, that's fine. But if you're wanting to just, read and save your night vision or not blind a bunch of people in whatever setting you're in, these levels are pretty bright. See that right there? And then that right there, it's pretty bright. Could have given us just a little bit less, just for the sake of saving our eyes at night. But that's just my opinion. Only those two things is all I can think of, really, to really take this light to another level, is the button and the lower levels. Everything else is spot on. It's really well made. I really, again, appreciate different emitters. I like the ease of use to where you're not mashing buttons. I know just as soon as I bring it out of my pocket, I can go to the right and I get white light and I can get done whatever I need to get done, turn it back off, throw it in there, and let's get it out in the dark. I want to give you an idea of what this looks like out here in the open before I get on some trails. There's low, that's the low setting for the white light. We'll go completely off and show you how bright that red is. Look at that. That's crazy. I mean, it might be a little bit brighter on camera, but looking off camera, I can kind of create some shadows here, do some shadow puppet type stuff. For real though, it's pretty bright, and I don't really like using that red indoors. I was just inside laying everybody down, telling everybody good night, and that was way too bright. I had to just go ahead and turn it off and use their little lamps and stuff, because Daddy's red light, way too bright. They weren't feeling it. And let's go ahead and show you all of the white light. That's the low, like I already showed you. There's medium, then there's high. Whole lot of light, just a wall of light. I'm liking that. That's really nice, to get out here and just light it up and give a massive amount of light. I just really would love to have just a little bit less light, so that way I could use this in like a tent or in a reading setting indoors, just whatever, like I wish I had a step down on this white light right now, and I wish I had a step down on the red, but that's just my personal preference, just letting you know what we got. Let's go hit some trails and see how this thing looks out here in the woods. For doing this out here, I mean, this is perfect. You don't want to have 1 lumen or 10 lumen out here doing this. This is great. We're going out here exploring. I noticed a little spider web here. Check out that little guy. There's one of those Joro spiders that aren't really supposed to be here, but they're here anyway. Trying to get zoomed in. There we go. They're not bad. I mean, they're not going to bite you or anything. Completely harmless. They're just not supposed to be here. But they made it. They made it here. We got them now. But walking around, checking stuff out, going through the woods, Not a problem at all. This is absolutely perfect. Even going to red, also tons of light. Not many headlamps you can do that with. Use the red light to walk a trail. So I mean, I will say that at least they got a ton of red light here. But you know, I appreciate the 21700 battery too. I gotta say that it's a bonus to have that extra 2000 mAh, so you can have a long-lasting battery. Now let's try medium power on the white. Looking at those beautiful fall leaves. Kind of opens up back here. I'll turn on this next step. I'll go ahead and step it up to full brightness. It'll light the place up. I mean, it really will. And it's a cool night, but I'm still not wearing anything on my arms. Nothing on my arms. Just got some shorts on, so it's not super cold. And this headlamp, it's not getting hot. Like you can see the shadow where I'm feeling it. Not bad. So it's handling the heat pretty well and throwing a lot of light. So got to give credit where it's due. I mean, that's impressive. Just you know, hey, throw another headlamp in your gear if you want to do some reading or hang out in a tent, and then grab this beast if you want to get out and really light the place up. Not a bad plan. Alright, well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Put them down in the comments, and I will see you all on the next one.